Well, hi everybody, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show how to create the AWS S3 bucket in our local machine using the local host. That is especially useful for developers when we need to create the lambdas or when we need to interact with the objects inside the buckets. So we are able for create mock the different services, not just only S3. So we are able for mock EC2, for example, in our local host before go to staging or production. So it's especially useful for that, no, for testing. Well, so I'm going to start now. Installing the AWS CLI. For do that, so we need a Python first, a pipe. So I'm going to use the pipe command, pipe install AWS CLI local. So here we can use pipe 3 as well if we are using Python 3. And so as we can see here, that download the AWS CLI. So basically if I type AWS local, so we have a bunch of commands here. So that's commands we need to use for interact with the buckets. So we have S3 here. So it's S3 output, S3 control. And we have a EC2 here. So all the Amazon Web Services, we have S3 here, S3 API. So I'm going to show after how to use these commands, no? Well, so next step is install Docker, because we need to create a new Docker container with the local stack. So I already have Docker in my machine. I have a Docker dashboard, but we need a CLI as well, because we need to we need to use Docker Compose for a YAML file in order to create the local stack. So the next step I am going to do is entering my AWS account and create the credentials, the access keys, because we need to create the AWS configuration in our local machine. So for that, I'm going to enter in Aws Console. So I already have the Aws Console here, so I'm going to share all the links in the description. So if you have any question, you can ask in the comments. And as well, so I'm going to share the all this guide in my website, in the description below as well. So basically here what we need to do is enter in our name in our account, and then click in my security credentials. So here I already have the access key, so I'm going to create a new one. So what we need to do here is basically I'm going to remove this key, delete, and basically what we need to do is create a new key, but keep this file, because we are not able for copy and paste the key next time when we enter in the security credentials. So basically, when we create the keys, so we have this access key, and then so we are not able for copy and paste again the secret key, no, if we don't have any copy. Well, so this key, I'm going to use the command AWS configure. So in here the system asks me for access key. I'm going to paste the access key here. So the secret key, and then the region. So I am in Ireland at the moment, so basically it's US 2, so that is the default. So and this one in blank. And after this process, so the system creates 2 files in the AWS folder. So if I go into AWS, so we have a configuration file and credentials. So if I enter in the configuration file, we have the region, and if I enter in the credentials, obviously we have the access key and secret key. Well, so the next step is create the YAML file for the Docker container. So I'm going to create a new folder here. And then I'm going to create a new file. The name of the file is Docker compose this one, and then so inside this file we are going to add the follow configuration. I already have the configuration here, so I'm going to copy and paste this configuration. So basically in here we have the container name and the service for mock. Aws S3 Bucket is here. So and the regions, so this region needs to be sure. And well, the ports for access to S3, no? Okay, so next step is run this YAML file. So if you install Docker, so Docker include the commands as well. So it's Docker compose, the command, and then app -d. So in the same directory when we have the YAML file. So if I type this command, so I already have the container, so in my Docker. So that's the reason why I have this error. So I'm going to remove this one and install again. Okay, so now it's created again, so it's running. So that run the local stack in your machine. So now there is a command as well, so you don't need to install the graphic interface or the dashboard. So you can use docker ps, and that check the pids. So we have container ID here, so all the process running in the Docker at the moment, no? So how we bind the ports here. Okay, so at this point is everything is okay. So we are able for create our first bucket. So I'm going to use the AWS local command. So S3 API create buckets, and then the bucket name. So that create the bucket in our local machine. So now what we need to do is check if the bucket was created. So if I type AWS local S3 ls, so as you can see we have the bucket now. And then so the bucket is empty obviously, and so if we want to copy an object inside, so well, so if you don't know, so the files inside, or the folders inside the bucket, they are objects. So I'm going to create a new file here. Okay, so and then AWS local S3, I'm going to use a command cp here for copy. So example 5, and then S3 and the bucket name. That upload the file inside the bucket. So now if I type S3 ls, so the bucket is still there, but if we need to check if the file was created, so we need to type the bucket here, ls and the bucket. As you can see here, we have the content of the bucket. So the file is here, so it's 0 bytes because we don't have anything inside. And well, so that is how the command cp works, no? Next step, if we want to copy this file outside, so imagine, I don't know, so you run the a lambda, or use a postman for create a new object in the bucket, and you want to check if the file is okay. So we are able for copy from our bucket to our hard drive. So basically what we need to do is type the command cp as well, but in a different way. So we need to type cp and then the file is the bucket with the example file, and then so the destination. So we are able to change the folder if we don't want in the same folder the copy. In this case, I'm going to copy in the same folder the file. So and now if I type ls, so we have the file here. Well, another command here is delete. So if we want to delete the bucket or the bucket content, so we can use AWS local S3 RM, then recursive S3, and then the bucket name. So the bucket name is example bucket. So that deletes all the files or the objects inside the bucket. So if I type ls again, so as you can see, we have a bucket only, so we don't have any files inside. I can type ls, this is empty. And then for delete the bucket is the same. AWS local and S3 API delete bucket, and then minus bucket and the bucket name, no? That delete the bucket. So now if I type ls, so we don't have anything. Well, so that's everything for today. Thank you very much for visiting my channel and for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye now.